Well, good morning everyone, and welcome to another beautiful day here from my home in sunny Tampa Bay, Florida. That's good. Now this morning I'm heading off to a recording studio just outside of Tampa Bay called Smoke and Mirrors Productions to track some guitars. And the reason is because I'm playing on a full-length swing album that's featuring 11 originals and 2 covers. Now this swing album is a project of Dee Dee Vernie's. Now Dee Dee Vernie is the bass player and songwriter and founding member of the legendary thrash band Overkill. All the original songs are written by him, and he's going to be the one singing the lead vocals on this album. Now playing the upright bass on the album is Johnny Hatton. He's been playing with the Brian Setzer Orchestra for many years now. On drums it features Tony Pia. This guy's a monster player. He's played with the Brian Setzer Orchestra in the past, and I believe his last gig was playing with the Doobie Brothers for many years. Now the bass and drums and the 6-piece horn section have already been recorded in California. And all that's left to record are my guitars, some piano, and a few other finishing touches that Dee Dee has in mind. But we're going to be recording all the guitars here in Florida. So I'm going to get my gear into my car, and I'd like you to join me as I document this process of tracking the guitars. Now I've had a good month and a half to come up with all my guitar parts for this record, so I'm ready, I'm stoked, so come on with me, let's have some fun. Now I'm planning on using just my Gretsch guitars for this recording, but I'm going to bring a few others just in case, because you never know what you may need. Amp-wise, I'm going to be using a Fender Hot Rod DeVille 212. I'm also going to bring a Vox AC30 along, because it's always good to have a backup. And effects-wise, I'm just going to be using my trusty delay pedal, and that's it. Oh, we got to say hi, kitty cat. I'll see you in a little bit, okay, sweetie? Okay, I'm ready to take off and get in my car. It's another beautiful day here. A little windy, but very beautiful out and warm. The rest of the country is cold, but here we're in shorts and t-shirt weather. Well, all right, let's get this musical journey on the road. Let's do it. Definitely taking some back roads here in Florida today. I like it out here. I should be almost there. Looks like I'm about 20 minutes away. Got a lot of guitars here.
Alright, so what we've got here is a Aston Stealth microphone, which is a pretty killer phantom power, but it also has phantom power on board. That's why it's purple. This is a very nice mic, and we have it off the dust cap in the center, so it's on the cone of the speaker. And then we have a classic SM57, about in the same positioning on here.
Okay. Rundown on that last one. Okay, so maybe I can get some parts in there that are decent.
Okay. Well, that was mine. It didn't start like that. Sorry.
Again, it's a beautiful Thursday morning. I'm heading to the studio for one final session. I've got 5.5 hours to complete 5 songs, and I'm stoked to get this finished, get it all completed, and we shouldn't run into any problems. It should go nice and smoothly. During my drive to the studio these past few days, I've driven by this historical marker, and it really has sparked my curiosity, so I'm gonna pull over and check it out. I wonder what it is for. Was there a battle? Is it something to do with Indians? Is it like maybe a homestead where some of the area's first pioneers were? I'm very interested to see what it is, because it looks like the historical marker is set right before this field. So I'm very curious to see what it is. Let's check it out. Historical marker. Oh, okay, very interesting. The Bradley Massacre. Near this spot on May 14th, 1856, a Seminole war party attacked the home of an early settler, Captain Robert Duke Bradley of the Florida Foot Volunteers. 2 of the Bradley children were killed before the Indians withdrew. This was the last such attack on a settler's homestead east of the Mississippi. I expected something like this, but I wasn't sure. So this was a site of a really tragic event. Just think about that for a second. Wow. So that's a pretty interesting piece of history right there. Just off the side of the road, off the beaten path. I mean, you just paid attention to it, it sparked my interest, and I learned something new. Very interesting. Very sad, actually, though. All right, well, it's time to head back on the road. Time to get to the studio. Jeramie, I have a question for you. How long have you been doing recording here?
I have owned a studio for 10 years now. I started it when, well, I needed to record some demos and everything like that for the early apps and stuff. That was 2006, 2007, so maybe 12 years now. The math was a bit wrong.
And this is Pro Tools that we're using?
Yeah, we're using a Pro Tools 12. It's not an HD rig, but it's still a pretty nice operating system. How long did it take to master everything? I feel like you're really good at all this. Well, thank you. It took me a long time, but it was a lot of like playing like video games and stuff. Like when I was a kid, I used to play a lot, and like most of us do and did. Played a lot of video games, and it created a hand-eye coordination and a bit of like speed between here and here. So I was adept at the beginning, but there was lots of hurdles to learn, of course, and then you just start to learn the ropes. The hardest part is just listening. You know, you have to learn how to listen.
And you're an accomplished drummer, pretty big in the metal scene. Can you tell us some of the bands that you're playing in right now, currently?
I play currently in Venom Inc., so that's Mantis from original Venom guitar player. I also play in Massacre. I also play in a band called The Absence. We have 3 CDs out of Metal Blade, 1 on M Theory. It's a melodic death metal band.
Maybe there's some parts. What do you think? Let's see.
That sounds good. On this last one, because this sounds pretty good. Yeah, let's get those 2.
Okay. Well, gang, it's the next day and we finished all the tracks. There was some worry that we weren't going to finish because we were already running behind schedule. And when it comes to recording, time is money and there's always a budget. But we did it. There was 2 super long sessions, and on that 3rd day it was just 5 hours and we completed it. It was so much fun to play on this album and to play on a body of work with an amazing bunch of talented musicians. It was an experience I won't forget, and I hope you enjoyed coming along with me these past 3 days. Now, I have no idea when the completed album will be coming out. I don't know if it's going to be put out independently or put out on a label. I don't even know when the release date will be. But when it is released, I'll give everybody a heads up and let everybody know. Now, I don't have any ties to the record or anything like that. I was simply just paid for a service to play on the record, and that's it. And now for anybody that's interested in doing any session work similar to what I just did, well, I've got a couple of tips for you. And I'm not talking about the obvious tips, like being proficient in many styles of music, be able to read sheet music, be able to hear with your ear, be able to play for many hours at a time. You also got to remember that you're being paid for a job, and you can't take anything personal. You need to remember things like you're playing on somebody else's body of work. It's their baby, and you need to be aware of that at all times. It's their project that you're playing on. And things can move pretty fast during a session. Time and money are being spent, so you got to stay focused. You got to remember your parts and remember what's asked of you to play. And lastly, friends, you gotta be easy to work with. You gotta be polite and professional. Those three qualities are gonna take you a long way. Well, friends, I'm gonna say goodbye to you, but before I go, I'm gonna leave you with this great quote by Benjamin Franklin. It goes like this: "Lost time is never found again." It's always important to remember that we don't get to live two lives, but we only get to live just one. And with that, friends, I'm going to say goodbye to you. Much love to everybody out there. Stay healthy, and I'll see you soon in another video. Take care. Bye-bye.